Hey everybody, I'm doing the intro again tonight. This is Final Show Films. We tell stories here. It's pretty fucking fantastic. We've got some supporters on our Patreon. Patreon's great. There seems to be some weird Patreon like shit going on online. Go to your social media. I'm sure you can find out more than I know right now. Anyway, our Patreon is patreon.com/fsfilms. And if you like what we do here, you can go over there and help us with some shit. Want to thank our $25 supporters over there. I've got a list here on my screen. Kat, Waterflame, Samantha Bates, Trevian Alexander, and Elle. So those are the people that support us at the $25 rank, and that means you get a special little shout out at the beginning of our stream. So if you want to hear me do a shout out of your name, go over there and sign up for $25 a month or something like that. I'm sure we can figure something out. Anyway, our people will call your people. Anyway, we're going to play Changeling tonight in a minute, so there's going to be a credit sequence right now.
And we're live.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to This Whole Nonsense. This is Changeling Lost in Grove or Green, a World of Darkness chronicle that we're running here tonight on Final Show Films. My name is Jack. I'm your storyteller, and I'm joined by some fantastic folks who are playing the motley known as the Unlikely in the city of Baltimore. I am joined tonight by William or Shawnee.
Hi, I'm William Orshani, and I'm playing Fatal Flanagan, the Ogre Gristle Grinder, and Javerno Sovereign.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Megan Lansing, Draconic Ferris. I almost went to go roll things since we usually do that Wednesday nights to start, but there's nothing to roll.
Destiny.
Roll Destiny. Roll your
Roll
goal,
your objective. Yeah.
Your objective.
Tell you what, yeah, you can go ahead and just roll any dice pool of your choosing and tell me what your objective via your result there is. Holly's here too.
Hi, I'm here. I'm Holly. I think so. I'm Holly. I'm playing Lark, Beast Windwing.
And Sen.
I know what you did on Mondays. I'm Sen. I'm playing.
I'm sorry.
That's
No, I get it. I get it.
That is a joke for the players that are that were in the Monday Changeling game.
Yeah. Murderous.
I'm Zen, and I'm playing Akujin, the Metal Flesh Blood Brute Ogre, and current leader of the Squires of the Broken Bow.
I mean, you're the only one, so yeah, technically you're also in charge.
If you're a squad of one, you are the leader.
Yep. And Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I am playing Alana, the fairest dancer, and the newest member of the Unlikely.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara. I'm playing Liz. She is a wizened oracle, and I have 13 objectives. Just
Okay.
13.
Only 13. 13 is a very
this is
auspicious
very
number.
low roll.
I have 173. I don't know what they are.
I mean, when I said a dice pool of your choosing, I was thinking something like, wits and socialize. But, you do
Jenny rolled 20
You need to
D16s.
clarify. You tell me roll a die roll of my choosing. I'm going to roll 20 D16.
I said dice pool, but fair enough. That was on me for not being specific.
It's still a dice
It's
pool.
technically a pool.
I mean, it is still
multiple.
technically, by
Mine's
definition,
not
a
pool.
dice pool. Yep.
It is a pool of physically unlikely dice.
But last time in Baltimore, the Motley Unlikely circled their wagons in the wake of a terrifying manifestation of a keeper's voice within the walls of the Commons. With the various influential members of the Keyhold informed that strange portents and threatening phenomena had once again descended upon the city, the changelings in question took time to look to their own homes, with a few conversations conducted to shore up any interrelational fragility as best as could be managed. On the following day, everyone reconvened to discuss what might be done here in the early days of Phage's ascent to the seat of Vernal Sovereign. And Alana and Liz inspected the Motley's Hollow, only to find a massive reptilian friend lurking outside the door. But as the circumstances...
Alana and Lark.
Alana and Lark. Oh, that's right. That wasn't Liz.
Yeah.
Liz was elsewhere.
Uh-huh.
But as the circumstances of spring in Baltimore begin to whirl around the Motley, a radio in the crack house on Monroe clicks on. In virtue's grip, the plans of rulers chafe, with purpose born to keep their subjects safe. Yet to what laws will kings and queens abide? What principles might shatter in their stride? Sometimes snares lie behind others' consent, hiding another secret close intent.
I boot the radio across the room.
Give me a dexterity and athletics.
Hang on.
Walmart sells D16s in groups of 10.
Only where you're at, apparently, because
Yeah.
that listing does not exist when I opened
Oh, it's available for me.
0
I've got free
successes.
shipping.
Yeah, you aim a disgruntled kick at the thing, but you don't actually hit it.
I hate when it jumps in the middle of conversations.
Don't break the radio.
It doesn't matter. It plays even if it's unplugged.
But there are other uses for the radio. And if you break it, it doesn't stop it, but then the radio doesn't work.
Anyways, I did have a question, which is something that Autumn, he says, gesturing vaguely at the at Liz, might have an answer for.
Okay.
Can fetches become ghosts?
Do I know?
Give me an intelligence and occult -3.
Okay.
That is an obscure bit of knowledge, although it's possible that Liz has run across something.
No successes.
You want to spend a willpower and use a luck token?
No, I think I'm gonna save that. I don't want to
Okay.
use it in the first
Fair.
5 minutes.
Fair enough. That's up to you. Liz, you have no idea.
I don't know what I'm gonna do today.
Absolutely
I
no clue if they
I-
can become ghosts or not.
I don't know.
Because if what we're seeing
When they-
here is your reflection turning weird, and only you're seeing it, and
Huh.
your fetch, you had a fetch, but it died
Well-
before you ever got to it. The only thing I can think of that would explain it only affecting you would be it being your fetch.
You all saw it in the car, and you weren't at the door when I saw it in the window. So
You saw it try to bite me. I was right next to you.
yeah, you didn't see
I
that.
didn't see it. And was I in the car when we saw the duplicate, Liz? Or I don't think I was even around, was I?
You
I
were
don't think-
driving. I remember us driving
'cause-
past.
Because the people who were in that vehicle, if I'm recalling correctly, I believe were Phage, Paige, Lark, and Megan.
I believe
think.
I was there, yes.
Yeah,
I do
believe
not believe Akajan was present for the interview with Gracie's dad,
Yeah.
No, don't think so.
which is when that happened.
Yeah.
Maybe just you can't see it.
I mean, maybe. But yeah, no, something jumping out at you like a ghost from a mirror or from mirrored reflections that looks like you and then turns horrible. I mean, sounds like a fetch, but
Don't know. I need to ask Tag.
probably worth asking. But yeah, not something we'll need to plan for because we don't want to just randomly break into houses that have security without a plan.
Paige, roll me a d10.
3.
You get that many notifications on your phone.
Regarding?
Court business, actually.
All right.
You've got one from Leaffinger that basically just says, had an idea that might be helpful for us to put before the Vernal throne. And then you've got two others, one of whose numbers you do not recognize, doesn't come up with anything in your contacts, and then one from another Spring Court member named Thomas Seasons, who's been referenced off and on, effectively asking, when is the Spring Queen's office hours? We have some proposals.
I will respond to all three of those saying that I will be at the Commons in time frame because I'm on the way. I was actively on the way there anyway.
Okay.
And I will be accepting proposals until reasonable time to go home.
All right.
What
Sounds
time
good.
is right now? I don't remember.
Right now it's
Was
late
it-
morning. It's
Okay.
like 10:30.
Okay.
I thought we didn't wake up till like noon.
Oh, that's right. You guys were up super late. So yeah, it's probably early afternoon at this point
Okay.
then. Yeah.
Cool, cool,
Probably
cool.
more
I was
like
just-
1:30, 2 p.m. Yeah.
Was last night the night I didn't sleep, or was it the night before? I can't
Last night.
remember.
Last
Last
night.
night was
night.
the night you didn't
Okay.
sleep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you might also not have slept the night before, but
No, I don't remember any reason I didn't. I wouldn't
Okay.
have slept the night before.
sounds good. Meanwhile, in the hedge, there are two changelings on the back of a long, low-slung, monstrous lizard who is scampering through thorn tops very rapidly. Sprinkles is effectively geckoing his way around these massive branches of thorn arcs, and squirming in and out of crevices, managing to dodge most of the sharper, more lethal aspects of the foliage here, and then eventually comes to a halt, somewhat unceremoniously, at the foot of the hollow.
Alana will just sort of lean around the side so she can look at one of those eyes on the side of his head.
Just kind of blinks at you twice.
Thank you. And she will slide off and offer a hand to Lark to help her down.
Yeah, Larko, take the hand. Get the hand.
And of note, Alana is smiling the first like genuine smile you've probably seen since being around her. Yeah, I didn't really get to enjoy it the first time I rode them. But with wanting to get out and everything.
Yeah.
There's a snapping sound as Sprinkles opens his jaw and a tongue darts out. Lark, you see that there were a few goblin fruits in Liss's garden that were in the process of ripening that are now being digested in a lizard's stomach.
Imagine me
Lark will
saying my cabbages off screen, just slightly.
Lark will look at that for a second. I'm sure this will be fine with that.
My
What?
goblin fruits.
Oh, your friend pet thing is eating out of Liss's garden.
Sprinkles, go eat something in the hedge. Like,
He sort of takes two sidled steps closer to the garden, which is technically in the hedge.
go eat something out of the thorns.
And see him kind of look around, gauging the rough distance from the thorns to this garden right here. Go ahead and give me a presence and animal ken.
One success.
He sort of flattens himself a little bit, and you can see that coloration on the outer scales change to where he almost blends perfectly in, and it's only until you get up to about the back half of his spine that he becomes visible to a naked eye and begins to serpentine his way off into the thorns.
I don't know everything he can do. A lot of my time in the hedge is kind of foggy. I remember fire. I don't know if that was from him or something else.
Yeah, this is your first time since you got out, right?
Yeah. Didn't really appreciate it. It's kind of beautiful.
It can be.
In a deadly sort of way, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not to just completely derail and change topics, but something's been nagging on my mind since yesterday.
Okay.
I know things have changed since I was around the first time. But generosity like you've shown me since I got back, since we met, wasn't really a thing. Why have you been so nice? I don't mean to sound ungrateful.
No, I get it. And I understand the need to know why, because this person you just met is throwing things at you.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to come off as overwhelming or anything.
No, that's not it at all.
You remind me of someone, is all.
Okay.
You remind me of myself when I came out of the hatch.
Oh.
And when I came out, I didn't have anything. And I didn't want to stay at the crack house or in the hollow or anything. And there was somebody who took me in and bought me clothes and gave me a place to stay. And so I'm doing the same.
She opens her mouth like she's gonna say something and then just hugs you and buries herself into you.
She will wrap her arms around you, hug you back.
Meanwhile, those of you on the real side, Phage, as you get all of those notifications, Paige taps you on the shoulder. I've got to check in. Oh no, wait. She had already left.
She already left in the
today.
morning.
Yep.
Like,
No,
she
she's
was
not.
gone before I
She's
was
not
awake.
there. You get a follow-up text from Paige. Just says meeting some friends after work. Home around slightly late, but not like weirdly so.
Mhm. I will text back. Be safe. Check in when you can.
And you just get a heart emoji back.
Send one back.
But with a bit of discussion established, what is everybody planning on doing for the day?
Apparently, I've got work to do.
You do.
Did I have a meeting planned with John Coffin about?
You were needing to get money together first, which I think you've sort of laid the groundwork for with Lark.
Yeah,
but
and
you'll need to actually have that in hand effectively
Okay.
In order to get things set up. But you can get those schedules arranged based on Akujin's best estimates and that sort of thing. That's easy enough to do.
Yeah, then I'll message. Because I'd already messaged John Coffin that we had the funds, so
Right.
whenever he's available, I'll let Lark know whenever Lark is back in from the hedge.
Okay.
And then we'll get ready for that, I guess.
All right.
Whenever Lark gets out, she wants to give Barnaby a call.
Okay. What about for Liz and Megan?
How did you like it? Up to Alana.
Okay,
As
so
you leave.
Alana and Lark come out of the hedge and
Yeah.
are immediately confronted by Liz. Okay, good.
How did you like it?
Well, the hollow's really nice. I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting anything like bad, but I just didn't really want to go like. And she like realizes she's starting to ramble, just sort of. It was nice. It was interesting to see Sprinkles again, but
Who's Sprinkles?
that's a long story. No, I mean, not really. Sprinkles helped me get out. He's
I haven't met a Sprinkles.
I'll have to introduce the two of you sometime.
Okay.
I think you would enjoy a ride on the back of Sprinkles.
That is a sentence.
I loved her expression.
Okay. Bye. This is gonna go in the hollow.
Okay. It's pretty much the way you left it.
Yep. And it's just gonna be like, cause actually leaves her phone out. No, she goes in and then she comes back out and leaves her phone on a table and it's like, could someone tell me if Tag texts or calls? Thank you. Disappear back in, leaving phone on table.
I like the notion of you're just gonna stay here and look at my phone the whole
exactly.
time, right?
Right.
You are
okay.
going to sit and
All
stare
y'all
at
are
my
on phone
This
monitor
is-
duty.
this
I've got
is-
things to do.
I've done this before.
Sometimes you sit and stare at a phone. All right.
Yeah.
So Liz is back in the hedge doing hedge shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Does she go down to the garden at all?
Yeah.
You do notice that something's been at one of your plants.
That's upsetting. I am going to try and sort of fashion some sort of chicken wire situation.
Okay.
That'll definitely work.
Give me a manipulation and crafts.
I am assuming this is not like the first time this has happened. It feels like a thing that would happen occasionally.
Probably not.
Yeah. Manipulation crafts. A success.
You get a mild amount of progress done in trying to physically secure the garden a bit.
Okay.
But the hedge is not being overly cooperative today. Because it's more this is less a physical activity you have to do and more convincing the psychoreactive landscape
Grow
to
this way.
grow the way you want it to,
Yeah.
more or less. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's giving you a little bit of lip, as it were, on this particular.
Would she have added
incident.
her weird to that roll then?
Not in this case, no.
All right.
And Megan, I know that there had been talk previously about weapons training and stuff like
Yes.
that.
That is something to do. But also went into the hedge, don't know when they're coming out. That's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. So Megan is going to load up on things to stay awake with.
Okay.
And is probably going to make her way to honestly to court.
Commons.
Yes.
To the commons? Okay.
Yeah,
All
to
right.
commons.
So we will pick up with Megan and Phage over at the Night Gallery then. Phage, would you set up just in the main auditorium? Would you go to the spring-specific room that non-springs are not allowed into? What would be your general deployment here?
She's acting as a public figure as basically the face of the keyhole for the season. So she generally, unless the business is private, specifically to Spring, would set up in the main body of the area and only retire to the Spring specific quarters if there is particularly sensitive or private information too.
If circumstances require, for sure.
Yeah. And as mentioned previously, she is entering donned in the Aufwigar, which is conveniently Spring aesthetic. So
yeah, no, lots of leaves and wood and shit mixed in with the metallic bits. As you get prepped and set up, Leaffinger pops down out of the office. Paige, wanted to suggest something worth looking into. I noticed that we don't really have much in the way of this established, and going forward, we may want to consider coming up with a system of some sort to establish harvest rights, either by location or maybe by individual. Obviously, there's sort of the unwritten rule: if somebody's ensorcelled, they belong to that changeling in terms of gaining glamour. But there's every chance we could have territorial disputes now that we're pushing 100 of us in the city at this point.
yeah, there's a certain amount of. At the same time, however, I'd like to avoid treating mundanes like any sort of cattle, although I imagine that's sort of something that gets in the mind of certain individuals. But some form of formal acknowledgement of individual grounds and preferred places of operation might be a good
Right.
system to
Yeah.
set up.
No, it doesn't have to be by people. And if that doesn't sit well in your mouth, that's perfectly fine. But, the bar down the street this particular shopping center, that sort of thing's a little less.
Aye, that's something more reasonable to sort of set up. These are the typical grounds that this motley air individuals will be typically roaming for their harvest, kind of thing.
Anyway, just a thought to consider going forward. One thing that I sort of noticed was a gap in
Worth
our
arranging.
social fabric. So if you think it's worth your time, there you go.
I'll need to have a conversation with as I, the player, try and look up. I'll need to have a conversation with our advocate at some point about general arrangement of that kind of thing.
For sure. All right. Well, I've got to get some stuff together for tonight's schedule. So, best of luck with everything.
And to you as well. I think things are only going to get a little bit more intense going forward.
Well, we've definitely had our fair share of drama for the first couple of days of the season, so we'll see what happens. And gives you a little bit of a nod and strides back off into the interior of the night gallery. Megan, would you have been present for this conversation or just
Nearby.
You have, yeah, okay. So
Nearby for sure.
none of this was particularly low volume or meant to be concealed.
Okay.
So if you're just hanging out nearby, you'll likely have access to most of this dialogue back and forth.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Lark, you give Barnaby a ring, and he answers. Hey there.
Hey, how are you doing?
Oh, well, it's been a day, and I'm parsing my way through all of the stuff that we learned and saw and heard and whatnot. But no, I'm doing fine.
If you have a chance today, I was wondering if maybe we could talk about my dream. I'm just trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do you wanna come by our place or do you want to meet somewhere?
I'll come by your place.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll see you over here. We're mostly just gonna be around the house, so not a big deal.
I should be over in a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
See you soon.
See ya.
And does Lark pretty much drive straight over?
Didn't Akajin need to talk to her?
It doesn't require.
Akajin could catch you at the door pretty easily.
Doesn't require a whole scene. Just before you leave, Akajin's just gonna let you know, hey, we'll need you with me when I go talk to John Coffin. Set a time for X amount of time, sometime later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just let her know when you're going over, and she'll go with you.
I'll shoot you a text.
Okay, and she will let Alana know that she's leaving.
Oh,
She will not let Megan know.
Well, Megan's
already left.
Megan's
anyway.
not
Megan's already left. Okay, no. I like the idea that Lark is actively avoiding doing the fighting training with her.
Oh,
right
100%.
now.
It's fine. It's not something that Megan's gonna do when she hasn't gone a night without sleep anyways. That's how people get concussions. It's chopped off.
Do you think you could drop me off at the house before you?
I was gonna
Awesome.
ask. Yeah, no problem.
There's no one watching that phone anymore.
Oh, I'm
It's gonna
sorry.
be great.
Okay.
I'm not.
Some random person comes up and steals the phone
I assume
Butterfly's
I
here.
assume Butterfly is also here, but I'm not. Gonna,
Yeah.
I'm
and then gets murdered by Butterfly, and it works
No,
out.
Butterfly's not paying attention to the phone.
No.
yeah. No, I'm paying attention to the phone until I need to leave. At which point I will yell into the hollow for Liz to come get her phone.
I'm not saying Butterfly murdered them because they took the phone.
I will be Auction left in the house largely by himself. Auction just grabs the phone, puts it in a pocket so he can feel it if it starts ringing.
Okay.
Now
and
your phone is stolen.
he's just gonna go out back
I'm excited.
and he's gonna go out back and set up like just like a striking log, and just
Okay.
do some physical training with his sword while he's
For
waiting.
sure. Keep yourself limber. Bleh.
Limble.
Limble.
Limber.
Yes.
A limbo.
Keep himself
Limble and nimber.
Keep himself gimbal. Just gyroscopically
There you go.
stable.
How low can you go?
Fantastic. All right. So yeah. At this point, then the only sounds coming from the crack house are the thunk of metal into wood, and whatever television show that Butterfly has decided is most interesting today.
Excellent.
X-Files.
But Alana is dropped back off at the mansion, and Lark, you head over towards East Central Baltimore to where Barnaby's Hollow is. Excuse me. The godforsaken motley is set up. The four of them all sort of share a dwelling, more or less. And it was one of the... They came out of the hedge roughly the same time that the original cast of The Unlikely did as well. The storefront that this place used to hold has been modified into more of a open front seating area and common room, still with the big plate glass windows out the front, but very clearly converted into a dwelling rather than a business now. Although there's always talk back and forth amongst the various godforsaken, especially from Bill Squires, who's a wizened smith and one of the premier craftsmen of the Keyhold, of eventually turning this back into a business and bringing in some fucking money for a change. But as it stands right now, it's mostly just where they store all of their less nice furniture that they still don't want to throw away.
It has just hit me that there are now less than half of the original Unlikely left.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep. It's true. But you find a place to park,
How
hop out
far
of the
will this
vehicle.
ship of Theseus go?
Go ahead and roll me weird for luck.
Right?
As long as there is at least one of us.
It just depends on how long it takes my plans.
There you go.
Good answer. Good answer. I like that one.
Am I rolling just weird?
Just your weird.
One.
One success. Okay. As you walk down the street, because parking in this area, there are a number of businesses, and so street parking is usually a bit of a premium near their home base. You pass a few flowering dogwoods that are just planted as part of the urban forestry of Baltimore. And one of them shifts and moves slightly as you get close to it. And as you approach, you realize it's not quite moving in the wind. And then the thing bends over physically, and you see in the pink and white blossoms on this thing a face sort of manifest for a moment, flashing you a smile as the tree reaches out and offers you a handful of petals that sort of just swirl in the area and then drift down almost as a full unit, coming straight towards your upper torso, basically.
She will hold out a hand to take the petals.
Right. Yep. And they sort of just drift in a faint coruscating circle for a moment and then settle. There's probably 2 or 3 dozen of them, and you can smell the fragrance of the dogwood blooms kind of rising off of it, and the tree has reverted back to its normal form.
It's spring. The weird is in the air.
Okay. She will just put that in a pocket.
Okay.
I don't know. That seems vaguely suspicious.
And yep, we're gonna forget about that for the time being. And she's gonna
Sounds
keep
good.
going.
All right. Wonderful. No other odd events until you get to the door. Sarah Bloodred is smoking a cigarette out on the front steps, and sees you coming down and just sort of raises a hand.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, came over for a visit?
Yeah, I needed to talk to Barnaby.
Okay. Talk or, you know.
I think talk.
Okay. None of my business. It's just, if I need to get out of the common area for a minute, I can make myself scarce.
But we'll let you know.
You're nice like that. Yeah, he's inside though.
Okay.
And she sort of does that kind of awkward reach behind and shove the door open, even though I'm not getting up. There's only so far I can extend my arm thing, and so only pushes the door open about 12 inches, which is definitely not enough to actually get through, but the gesture is made. And as you go inside, Barnaby's there, and he's got probably 2 or 3 notebooks out in front of him on this little like card table that's sort of set off to the back corner of this main storefront area. There's still a few like shelves and stuff that are just don't really hold much of anything. Couple toolboxes, that sort of stuff. But as the door opens, you see him lean back, and he shoves a pair of reading glasses up over his forehead. Hey, come on in, sit down, find a spot, get comfy. You can let me know what's up.
She'll walk over.
He'll pull out a chair for you.
Yeah. She'll say, hey,
Hey.
I don't know, I need someone to talk to about this dream.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, it is a little bit my fault. So,
I mean, I wouldn't use fault because I feel like it's good that we have this information, but
right. Okay.
I thought you might be a good person to talk to.
I like to pride myself in being an excellent person, especially for you to talk to. Go ahead. Tell me the whole thing.
I mean, you know the dream. I'm trying to figure out the meaning here of what I need to do.
Next steps kind of thing.
Yes.
Are we talking? Well, there's a couple aspects of the dream. I was actually going over some of the details since you mentioned that. And there's the message that you saw carved into the wall, which we sent to Will and everybody. So as far as that goes, once we have a better idea of what we're dealing with, other than our initial surface interpretations. And then there's the whole thing about the noise that you made and the responses that it caused and that sort of thing. Which, while I think they're connected, are technically sort of 2 different things.
Okay.
So did you have a specific on one or the other?
I think the noise or the vibrations and what I need to do basically to make this a reality.
Okay. Yeah. So when you say make it a reality, what do you mean by that?
I mean, I kept seeing me protecting people.
Make sure you have what you need in order to actually do that, rather than just have it as an image in a dream.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's gonna be, I mean, it seems to me that there's a level of potential there. And if you can make that happen, it might be a lost contract. It might be a function of the weird that we don't understand. It might be, nobody really knows what the weird can do in its full extent. I doubt even any of our former hosts have a full and complete grasp of that. So the idea that there's something out there that could let you have that sort of capability, very possible. There's a couple places we could start. Tag's library, obviously, tons of good information there, stuff that he probably doesn't even remember that he has. So that could be worth looking around. Goblin Market, always a good spot. That's usually more on the physical like side of things, but sometimes you can find information or lost secrets for sale there. Those are usually my two first stops as best I can. Obviously, Market's a little riskier than Tags is, but it's also those threads run further than just whatever we've been able to scrape together and all put in books. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So those would be my suggestions.
I would prefer to not go for the Goblin Market one right now
Okay. Yeah.
until
no,
we
that's
have a
perfectly
better
fine.
idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I can key us over to Tags and see if he's taking visitors at the moment. I think we've got accessibility today. Unless something specific came up where he had to shut down, but
I think he and Liz were gonna do something. I can't remember.
let me text him and see then. And he'll pull out a phone and just in his massive giant goat man hands text something fairly quickly and send it off. But yeah, what else? Anything else that you had questions for or needed clarification on?
I think that's the main thing. I just need to be pointed in the right direction right now.
Yeah. Nope. That's I know that feeling. But yeah, we'll see what we can find to start with then.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Oxygen,
Yeah.
there is a buzz in your pocket.
Which pocket?
The one with Liz's phone in it.
I start walking back into the house as I pull it out.
Right. And yeah,
Okay.
there's a notification of a text from Tag, or whatever contact name Liz gave.
Tag.
It just says Tag in the
It
address
says
book. Okay.
tag. Yeah. You might be
Uh,
able to read it. Liz has not changed any of the settings on the phone.
does she even like have a security code, or is it literally just?
I think that was part of the phone safety lecture.
Just opens
I
it
Okay.
up.
believe. So
Yes.
Just opens it up
Yes.
0000.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did Akujin just guess your pin properly? Would it have been
Yes.
all zeros? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Amazing.
Yeah, just check, make sure it's from Tag, and then yeah, head up and stick my head in the hollow. And Liz,
Scrambling. Yeah.
phone.
Oh. Take it. Look at it. Look at text.
Says to the Augurum Minorum. 3 p.m.
Okay. What time is it now?
It's about 2:15.
Right. I have an appointment.
Do you need a ride?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a quick appointment or a we have time appointment?
You can drop me off there.
Okay. Well, let's go. Is it warm enough? I'm not doing it right now, but is it warm enough, or has it gotten warm enough outside that biking is going to be less of a pain, or no?
Roll me a presence and survival roll. That's a fun combination. I like that one.
Because I don't know if my
Go ahead and add your weird.
Yeah, I don't know if my summer mantle help, because I know my summer mantle keeps me warm, but I don't know how warm it keeps me in relation to the weather.
Little
So,
bubble of insulation.
Presence and what was it?
Presence and survival. And you're weird.
Megan's like, people don't go bike riding in the snow.
1.
It's warm enough that motorcycle would be just fine.
Okay, yeah. So, drive Liz in the Jeep. And then after dropping Liz off, I'm probably just going to go park the Jeep wherever I park it when I don't need it and start riding the bike around.
Go ahead and roll me weird for Aquagene as well.
Just flat weird?
Just flat weird.
Zero successes.
Okay. You park your Jeep, grab your bike, and just start making patrol routes effectively.
And yeah, dropping Liz off first, but yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Lark Barnaby gets a text saying, "This will be just fine," and it says, "Yeah, we can head over. My car, yours. I don't care."
I don't care either. We
Let's
can
take
pick
mine.
it. Yeah.
You know that Barnaby occasionally threatens both vehicle upholstery and sometimes shocks based on his sheer scale, and therefore usually takes his shitty pickup most places most of the time. But yeah, he'll drive you guys over as well. Alana, what are you up to back at the mansion?
So Alana is going to she's gonna spend a little bit of time putting away all the clothes she bought.
Okay.
And actually putting things away, like hanging things up, putting things into dressers, like actually settling in.
Okay.
And then after that, she's going to open her phone, think for a few minutes, and then start searching about her disappearance.
Okay. Go ahead and give me, we'll say intelligence and computers -2.
Okay. Intelligence, computer, -2. Yeah. 2 successes.
2 successes. You find your old name, which I believe Alana does remember first and last.
Yeah.
And mostly it's old credits. That one job that you booked. And that's what your name is immediately at the top of any sort of results page or anything, is Alana Spencer, Guilty Stars.
Interesting.
The band, it seems, did a little bit of effectively awareness on a disappeared cast member, backup dancer. And there was efforts made over the first couple years. Drops off after time. But with 2 successes, that's the main thing you're able to find. Somebody noticed. Somebody took the time to try and pursue it, or at least get more attention directed to it. Whether that was on the advice of their PR people or from genuine empathy and care, or there's any number of motivations that might be behind that. But fact of the matter is somebody looked or talked about it. But that's all you're able to find there. Where in the mansion are media sources, televisions, radios, computers, that kind of thing, would you say? Or how dispersed throughout?
Okay, question.
Yeah.
On the layout of it, because she leaves Adele's office alone. She does not use that. Is there another room that she could have used as an office for herself?
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
Adele's mansion is one of those where it's not like, oh, we've got one room for everything and they're just big and fancy. Adele's floor plan was much more, here's an office. There's more space on this floor, though, so we might as well also have a library and a room that would be considered maybe a study or a den. I'll just use it as an alcohol closet. That was Adele's general layout, is less big and luxurious and more plenty of rooms for plenty of things.
Then yeah, Lark has an office.
Okay.
That probably is where most media sources are.
Okay. From where Alana's standing, then you hear a voice, clearly like a television or a radio, coming from down the hall. Give me a wits and composure.
Oh, she was about to meet a ghost.
I mean,
we're gonna let her ease it.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility there.
Lark has not mentioned that.
And composure. No, Lark has not.
Oh.
3 successes.
You hear a little ways down the hallway the sudden arrival of a recorded being broadcast voice. As if somebody turned on a television or it suddenly activated out of standby mode or something.
Gonna walk into that room.
As you step into the room, there's a news broadcast on. In an event that many are chalking up to the recently named Van Helsing Slayer, another pair of bodies has been found, dumped in a vacant lot in northern Baltimore. 2 men are considered victims of opportunity, and both suffered extensive injury by some sort of wooden implement to the upper torso. And then it clicks off with that sort of, dark screen, fading white moat in the middle. And looking at the screen, there's a figure standing behind you off to one side slightly.
So a couple things are about to happen. Well, first, she's just going to take a step forward and turn at the same time and take a battle stance.
There is a gaunt figure in front of you, skin and flesh almost zombified, long dark hair rippling down over shoulders, fuzzy around the edges, like there's some sort of spectral, ethereal function to it. The mouth is open and the head is tilted slightly to the side, and slowly the hand comes up and points a crooked finger towards the TV behind you. You can see, go ahead and give me you have any dots in medicine or science?
I have nothing in either.
Okay. Go ahead and it might just be a chance die then. Give me intelligence and science.
Okie dokie. So, science.
If that reduces your pool to 0,
Yeah,
make sure to
it's-
say you
yeah.
roll the chance.
Yep, so that'll be just a chance die.
Yep.
Hey,
One success.
You also, on this figure's body, see ragged wounds near the neck, as though the flesh has been torn by some massive fangs, and an arrow protruding from a shoulder with rough fletchings on the shaft. And then whatever this apparition is dissolves into a pool of blood that just splashes out onto the carpet.
She's gonna turn and look at the TV.
The TV clicks back on. Again, we have no idea how many corpses might be scattered about the city and whatever this new spree serial killing seems to be. But currently, we're looking at 8 fatalities to date.
And calling Phage.
Meanwhile, Phage, your second petitioner shows up. This is Thomas Seasons. He is a mid-standing spring courtier, member of where'd you go, Tom? The Druids run Motley. Not exactly a newbie, but not somebody who is specifically extremely well reputed within the court, but definitely a member in good standing. Your Majesty, we wanted to ask, well, we is me mostly, what your thoughts were on public gardens.
Are we talking goblin fruit or just general
Yeah,
plant life?
no, like, see, I was thinking, obviously they've got a lot of beneficial uses. I mean, some of them can be more harmful than others, but a lot of times they can either be utilized as, I mean, like, it can energize people. Sometimes them can even heal people, and like having stuff that would be like supported and maintained by the keyhold, but open for anybody who like has particular needs or might not have a ton of resources or time or strength themselves to grow their own. But I mean, you know how there's green space. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Seems like valid infrastructure. It'd be something worthwhile for the changelings to have ready access to goblin fruits in case they don't have any near their own trod.
Right, yeah. And of course we'd need to, grow them on that side. But and trods is a real good idea too. So anyway, I just wanted to suggest that and see if you thought there might be anything we could do about that.
There's certainly value in that. Do you think that you perhaps have spotted any locations that might be worthwhile to consider?
Oh, this was just an idea I had. I hadn't really I didn't want to necessarily, I mean, we've got but if you think somebody should look into it, I can see if I can find some time. Or if you know anybody better who is real good that side, that might be able to do it. But I'll be happy to if I've got any spare time to help. Yeah.
Tell you what, do a little bit of scouting in your free time if you can. Be safe. We don't want anyone getting hurt in this kind of endeavor, especially because we're trying to do something for the public good. But if you manage to find a spot, a good trod, somewhere maybe even nearby to the commons if possible, but anywhere public that many changelings tend to be. If you find a spot that might be good for either the growing or that already has them growing, let me know, and we can start arranging something a little bit more public. Maybe some people who might want to volunteer to take care of those goblin fruits for the community.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Fantastic. Okay. I'll go see what I can find, and I'll let you know if I find anything.
She'll nod. Anything else I
Cool.
can help you with while you're here?
That was no, we'll probably be back for the party tonight, but no, thanks. Don't want to take up any more of your time. I'm
Fair
sure you
enough.
got lots of
Enjoy
okay.
your day.
Bye. Yeah, and kind of gives you a little bit of a bow, and wanders back out, kind of splashing his way. He's a waterborn, so there's definitely a waft of humidity in his wake. And then your phone rings.
Look at it, see who's calling. Alana. Click.
Yep.
Hey there, Alana.
Hey, sorry, a lot just happened really fast.
Take it slow,
Okay.
one step at a time.
So I'm at the mansion and I'm here alone, which is freaking me out. This place is a lot bigger than I realized.
And haunted, there's that.
Yeah, Lark kind of left that part out.
From my experience with Adele, the ghosts tend to be friendly as long as you leave them alone.
Helpful is more like it this time. Are you anywhere that you can watch the news?
Is there a TV here that can pull up the news?
There's TV. You know that there's like at least 3 TVs that you could access. None of them in the main area here. This isn't a sports bar. But you could go find one within, 2
I can
minutes.
probably walk over to one way.
I would suggest watching it. There's apparently a killer going around, going by the name the Van Helsing killer. I don't know why they went with that one, but the reference went over my head.
I'll walk over to a TV and see if I can pull up the news cycle while I'm on the phone.
I
Yep.
didn't think anything of it at first. I just thought, wow, Baltimore's a lot worse than I remember. But then they numbered the victims.
You're about
8.
to tell me, fuck, shite. All right. Thank you for telling me about this. Which one of the ghosts pointed that one out to you?
Well, we didn't really exchange pleasantries. She was tall, thin, long black hair. Had an arrow in her back. Looked like she got bitten and clawed to death, I assume.
Did she look like she was already a corpse before those wounds came in?
Just look at phone. Maybe. I mean, her skin was kind of gray.
That description absolutely matches Adele, correct?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I thought so.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mhm.
Well, I'll be damned. I guess she got what she wanted in the end.
No, what she wanted was to kill Akujin, not to be a ghost. That would have just been a perk.
If she was going to die, she wanted to be a ghost.
It's what she would have wanted.
It's what she would have wanted. It's what Remy would have wanted.
What Remy would have wanted.
Listen, she wouldn't have wanted to kill Akujin. She didn't care about Akujin other than stop killing her. That was the only thing.
I believe that you've just had your first encounter with the ghost of Adele, our former motley mate.
Oh, okay.
I'm completely unsurprised that she managed to find a spot as a ghost.
Yeah. Next time she can go with a simple hi.
Adele doesn't do anything simple.
Fair enough.
But you don't have anything to worry about from her.
the way you're saying that implies I have something to worry about the other ones.
I don't know them well enough. Adele was the one who knew them and spoke with them. But my understanding was some of them had ticks that you didn't want to bother, or they might get kind of aggressive, but otherwise were fine. There's one, don't disturb his. I remember this one. There's one in the wine cellar. Don't disturb him when he's down there smoking.
Don't go in the wine cellar. Heard. Understood.
By this point, Phage, you've got WMAR Channel 2 News up, and there's a report about a series of killings. This one saying unconfirmed reports place the number of known victims somewhere between 4 and 8 at this time. And they're calling him the Van Helsing killer because he, she, they, it stabs people, with a sharp metal or sharp wooden implement of some sort.
They're being called the
I'm
Van
just
Helsing.
there next to you now.
Yeah. They're being called the Van Helsing killers because they're staking people.
Okay.
She looks over her shoulder at Megan, sort of nods at the TV.
I see it.
I'm gonna pretend that helped make sense.
I was gonna say, give me an intelligence and we'll say academics roll for Alana.
She has that.
We need to talk.
Make sure it's not a chance roll anymore, though.
Yeah. 0 successes.
Oh yes, no. Van Helsing was a famous chef. He had a cooking show, and his steaks were very well reputed.
As you sort of say, okay, with sort of that like unacknowledging tone of voice, she's read Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay.
Dracula, you do recognize.
Yeah,
that one's pervasive
one I
enough
know.
that you got.
That one I know.
Abraham Van Helsing and everything they've done with him since in popular media was the vampire hunter doctor kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna go find alcohol.
Oh, there's plenty of it in that house. You'll have no problems.
Yeah. And go back to.
No problems is how I would describe the situation.
No problems finding alcohol.
I'm gonna go back to.
When Lark next shows up, feel free to ask her about the ghost. She probably knows more than I do about them, considering she lives there.
That's fair. Should I call everyone else, or do you want to? How do you want to disseminate this?
Well, Megan's right here next to me, so we're going to talk about that. I'll text everyone.
Okay. Also, I know you're probably busy with court stuff, but I'd like to talk to you at some point.
Anytime you want to come by, or I can come by where you are if you need.
I don't really have a car.
Right.
So
I'll drop by there. I'll sometime after I've got at least one more person coming in for court business, but after that I'll come by.
Okay. Stay safe.
You too.
She will hang up and then go to the kitchen to find vodka.
Okay.
Hang up, look over at Megan.
So we need to check with some autumn people to start.
Yep.
Because there is a not 0% chance that it's something undead related.
Non-zero. Certainly.
We need to eliminate it.
Absolutely.
And if that's the case, I'm not saying that it's not our problem, but it's less of our problem than if it's something else. Who do we know?
That news report was giving a range, but apparently the news report that Alana saw when tipped off by Adele's ghost apparently said specifically 8.
8, all right. I hate everything. I hate everything.
And I would trust the news broadcast that was brought up by a ghost more than the one that I just pulled up on this TV.
Obviously. Still a possibility. Like, we still need to cross that off the list. But is there anybody in the freeholder who has police contacts? Because we need that information.
Do I know that info?
Give me an intelligence in politics.
If nobody, we can get the information. I
Yeah,
can
absolutely.
get that information.
Intelligence and
Without-
politics. Do any of my social merits apply here?
Which ones do you have?
I have Status Spring, I have Court Goodwill Summer, and I have Mantle Spring.
No, those would be Changeling specific.
Okay. I'm asking if
This-
anyone in the freehold.
Yeah, no,
knows-
this
knows
is much
these
more
contacts,
who
so-
knows mundane power structures is
Okay.
the sort of key element in the role here.
There's a success.
Your best guess on people who have made contact with law enforcement to any significant extent would be Vision Kane. He was a member of Common Security, and he's another wizened oracle. He's a member of War Dancers Motley, Sun's Blood.
I'll look around the room. Is Leafinger anywhere nearby?
Not currently, no. But some of the members of his motley are.
I'll look over. Can one of you guys grab me Leafinger real quick?
Yeah. And they'll dash upstairs to go find where he's
As
hiding.
they dash on, are we going to need to rely on Leafinger for something? Because I can get this information if we don't want to go down that road.
I have a contact that I think might work, but I want to see if Leafinger knows someone more likely than I do.
I can just walk in and get the information.
I don't doubt it, but I'd like to see if he's willing to play ball on this,
All right.
or if he's going to be a pain in the ass.
After a couple minutes, Leaffinger comes down. Your Phaginus?
I like that one better. Leafinger, do you happen offhand to know if any of our changeling friends in the freehold have a better insight in mundane police activity than Vision Kane might?
Crabcake knows. He's and kind of pushes his thumb off to the side, and you see that the ogre member of Leafinger's motley, who is currently just heaving a massive amp up onto the stage in one arm. He knows some boys on the force, does some drinks with them on occasion, keeps me updated, you know, what with
do I recall
all
what
of the
Vision
drugs
Kane's
I sell.
relationship was?
Vision Kane knew a desk sergeant effectively in somewhere in North Baltimore.
So I'm guessing more beat cops on Crabcakes is in then.
Yeah.
Vision's got more of a staff sergeant kind of thing, desk individual. Probably what I need to find if I'm looking for information.
We could attack it from both sides if you want.
Might be a good idea.
What are we looking at?
Serial killers.
Ooh, that's always delightful.
And you're gonna love the current body count. Specifically 8.
Oh. Well, it does come before 9.
Yeah.
But also. Well, I'll have Krabs go over and see if any of his friends...
And all of them apparently have been staked.
Staked?
Stabbed with a wooden implement, supposedly.
Are vampires a thing?
I'm pretty certain they are, but I don't think any of these were.
Nah.
Look, if werewolves are a thing,
Wait, werewolves are a thing? No, I know about werewolves, yeah.
Then...
Look, it's open season at this point. You're not wrong, Meg.
But point being, Mundane news are calling them the Van Helsing killers, apparently.
Well, yeah,
Because they've
okay.
been stabbing people with stakes.
Because
or at
they're
least something made of wood.
unoriginal.
But
You could call
Which
him the
is-
tent pitcher. You could call him, yeah.
which is a problem in and of itself, even if it's not vampires.
yeah. This is gonna start drawing attention, and that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. No, I'll see what Crab Cake can find. If you've got,
I'll go talk with the Sun's Blood and see if I can get my hands on Vision Cane.
I mean, he's
Right.
gonna be on duty tonight. He works security for us here, so
The player, forgot about that.
that's okay. If you want to just hang out, he's honestly due to start shift in like an hour.
All right, I've got one more person who contacted me about wanting potential court business anyway, so I'll wait around for that and see if Vision comes by.
What's ours is yours. Will turnover is going to be in about the same time too. If you need to touch base on anything that way. But drinks, etc. Special chemicals. I don't know. The man keeps plenty of stuff in the back cabinets if there's anything helpful that you guys need to avail yourselves of. But yeah, no, I'll get Crab Cake out to talk to his buddies, and we'll see if we can wring anything out of the bushes.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you kindly.
Anytime. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Barnaby, Lark, and Liss are all going to arrive at Tag's place at roughly the same time. Oh, look, there she is.
Hi.
Hi.
I
have an appointment.
We have a visit.
This is gonna go and knock on the door.
Barnaby will sort of backdrop the pair of you. And after a moment, the very small open foyer comes in, and as comes into view as Tag pulls open the door. Autumn has arrived in threes. That's auspicious.
Better than 8.
Indeed. Do tell, as he's ushering you all in.
Look at Lark. It's her vision.
can I speed through the Lark expense?
Yeah, absolutely. If you
I've
just
said
want
it
to
a
give him
lot.
the Cliff's Notes, yeah, 100%.
While I'm waiting on my last bit of court business for the day and for Vision Cane to come in, I am texting the rest of the motley that was not already aware of this about serial killers thing.
All right. So everybody who has access to a phone, which I think is pretty much all of you, starts getting notifications about serial killers throughout the city. Those of you at the archive, do the standard, write your name on the piece of paper, bleed on it a little bit. He burns it in the bowl. Everything creaks and shifts, and he pushes the door open into the Autumn archive. And that is where we're going to take our break for the evening.
Those of you watching live, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. And remember, when we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. And we're live.
Dinosaur
Or we're
story.
back. A dinosaur
A
story, I guess.
Macaulay story.
I said the wrong thing, so it completely screwed up everything.
And we're live. The human story for now.
No, this is Changeling.
But yes. So you enter the Autumn Archive. Tag looks over at Barnaby. What can I help you and your paramour with today? Barnaby kind of nods to the side a little bit. We're looking for information on, well, several aspects. Precognitive divinatory magic, particularly those associated with sound and vibration, right?
Yes.
And anything that might be able to give a glimpse of the future based on some association with auditory phenomena. Tag takes his mantle, this one that's made, basically looks like it's made of coins, and pulls one off each and hands them, one to you, Lark, and then one to Barnaby. Think hard about what you need to find and then toss it into the air. Your table will be that one. And he points off to one side. Meanwhile, young augur, what have we discovered? And he sort of takes you by the elbow and pulls you deeper into the stacks list.
Okay, I'm following.
Tell me what you have read and foreseen.
8. I looked at all the tea leaves. I pull out my notebook, which has full of all of my little scribbled drawings of the bottoms of cups. I didn't see 8s in them at the time, and I start like flipping through them kind of frantically.
8. Well,
8.
8 is a significant number in a number of ways. A perfect cube, a lower non-prime, evenly divisible, down to multiple primes. Sideways, a symbol for infinity, the forever that we all seek to perceive as far into as we might. Very good. All right. If 8 is where the basis of your foresight is to lie for the immediate future, go look. Find out whatever you can about 8. And he just points down into this maze of books.
Okay.
And return with what you find.
And I run off.
And he sort of fades into the dark.
I like
Those
the idea that
two
he
of
tried. I like the idea that he tried to give that as if he was expecting you to be running off and just shouting that at your back, even though you hadn't moved yet. And return what you find. Oh wait, you're still here.
So standing staring.
Like, well, if we need to have a receding sound effect, it'll be achieved by me backing away very quickly. All right.
Yeah.
But the two of you can both make intelligence and investigation. Liz, you are literally trying to do fortune telling in a library effectively.
Yep.
So you're at a -2.
Okay.
Lark, you're doing magical research with the amount of resources at your disposal here. You're at a +1.
2 successes.
2 successes for Lark. All right. And 2 successes for Liz. Excellent.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use my coin. I want an exceptional success.
Okay. And
wanna
what
see
is
what we got
Liz?
here.
What is Liz hoping to find?
Yeah, anything basically we have like a lot of unknowns in this. I got the text kind of right before we went in, I am assuming. So I know about the like name of the killer and things. I'm trying to get any sense of basically like where the start of a trail might be.
Okay.
Beyond like on the metaphysical side of things. Because like it's if it's being reported, it's fairly easy to do that on the real side, but Liz is much more comfortable and finding trails on the other side. So I think that's what she'd be like looking for.
Okay. All right. Well, we will begin with Lark's then, and since you are spending the willpower for the exceptional success, we'll get to yours next. Lark, you find a number of books talking about. There seems to be a surprising amount about divination. Most of it is, however, looking at sort of the random chaos of the world at large, and drawing information and insight from those recurring patterns that you might be able to glean or unearth from that vaguely traditional-esque sorts of fortune telling, but with a changeling bent and a little more insight into them to actually make them work in a way that mundane humans generally cannot manage to. But there's a folder more than an actual book that is just myriad scrawlings and disparate notes and stuff. And what you do find is slipped into like a manila envelope with a handwritten note on the outside, just a label that says Mutterings of a Diviner's Chorister. You find a single page of handwritten notebook paper, which I will put into your journal. It'll be in under the handouts folder under writings.
Oh, I see it.
All right. Liz, on the other hand, you're looking for the beginning of trails and where you might start to trace a pathway drawn, a way to track or otherwise hunt down a particular phenomena, specifically on the trail of whoever this Van Helsing killer is.
Yes.
Pairing that with the number 8, the apparent level of this in being or murderer's victims. It's odd.
No, it's not.
A
It's an
trail
even
you...
number.
Huh?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's an even number.
Uh-huh. A trail usually has a beginning, then extends for a bit, and then ultimately a terminus.
Mm-hmm.
8 does not.
No.
8
Oops.
is a recursive number, a continuous cycle. And with an exceptional success, I'll say, as you begin to pull together what bits of random omen that you can glean from the books here, the closest you can find is the idea that 8 does have a number or an origin in an Ouroboros fashion. It begins where it ends. The beginning of the trail and the ending are the same. And there's that X crossing point in the middle of the number that is frequently associated with personal power, strength of will, balance, stability, and the self. It's almost as though whatever pattern exists around this spree of killings begins and may very likely end with you, either singular or plural. You.
Okay.
And on an exceptional success, that's what you walk away with.
All right.
Meanwhile, Akajin, you've gotten things arranged, and John Coffin says that this evening there's going to be just kind of a run-of-the-mill social event at the Night Gallery. And if your Motley is going to be in attendance, which as the associates of the Vernal Sovereign he presumes you will be, he can definitely find some time to pull together the necessary paperwork on his end based on what he's found about those premises and meet and talk with you guys there that evening. You and whoever else you have in your corner for that.
I will let him know that sounds good. I will text Lark that information, and then I will get a text from Phage. Or in some order
Yes.
therein.
Yep.
Which will then result in a bit of cursing and a call to Diego.
What's up, boss?
Diego, have you been watching the news lately?
No. Never touched the stuff.
Fair. Apparently, there's someone going around on a bit of a serial killing spree in the area. They're calling him the Van Helsing killer.
Okay.
Because media is unoriginal.
Everything's a remix.
Yeah. Well, this particular individual. Does Diego know about the prophecy yet, or no?
I don't think you guys have detailed him on it
Okay,
yet.
cool.
No.
This particular killer is leaving signs that it's of interest to us and the Vernal Sovereign.
Cool.
So, since he's operating out in the mundane and targeting mundanes, I want you to let the boys know to keep an eye out for anybody that might match what the news is talking about.
All right. Engage or
strict information.
Observe. Okay.
Let me know as soon as anything.
All right. Yeah, no. If bodies drop, it's even money that we'll know before the cops do.
Yeah, so far 8 of them have dropped. Wooden stake through the chest or various other body parts.
Seems inefficient.
Yeah, well, ritualistic in nature.
Okay.
So,
well, ears to the ground, nose to the air.
Yep. Click. And then I'm going to look up actually the latest news report for, or just on my phone, just while I'm sitting on the side of the road, locations of where these bodies have been found.
Okay. There's very little available on that. You can go ahead and give me go ahead and give me, you want to use computers or streetwise?
Computer, actually.
Okay. Intelligence and computer -2.
I'll spend a willpower on this if I can.
Yeah, that's fine.
So +1. Two successes.
2 successes. Scattered. Very little of any sort of pattern that you can find. And with 2 successes, I'll say none of them were dropped on site. They've all been dumped somewhere. Right. Either concealed in like a dumpster, down under an underpass covered in debris. It's very, very much. Yeah, we don't know where these murders actually took place. And even the places they've been dropped seem to be places of convenience without necessarily a big strategy in mind.
So in that case, what I want to do is I want to go to the most recent dumping site that isn't under police surveillance, if possible.
All of them are
All of
very
them are?
heavily at this
Okay.
point. Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
In that case, the most recent dumping site, but not actually right there. I want to go to like, I want to go to like building across the street, kind of thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let me look at really quick what this can do, because I want to use a pledge in not strictly speaking the way that it's normally used.
A contract?
Air contract, yeah.
Okay.
But unfortunately, at some point, the description of this got destroyed, so I need to find it again.
Which one is it?
Control elements, page 139, core rulebook.
Okay. What do you have? Your element is metal, right?
Metal,
that you
yeah.
have?
Yeah.
Okay.
What I want to do is see if I can talk to a street lamp that would have been in view of when the body was dropped, or of the location the body was dropped in, and see if they remember anything that stands out or might help me trace back to where it came from.
Gotcha.
And basically, I want to talk to the city infrastructure for a little bit and see if I can find my way back to where the thing was actually killed, or anything else that might be relevant.
Gotcha. I don't think you can do that with control elements. I think there's a completely different family of contracts that lets you actually communicate with things.
And you're right.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was a thing that I was just missing, or...
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that's in either Rites of Spring or Winter Masks. There's a full-on different family of contracts there. Contracts of communion, I think they're called. And you would need to have one of those if you're trying to actually talk to.
Okay, I didn't know if I also didn't know if that was just something that I could do being a metal flesh, just like being that part elemental. If I
Not unless that's part of your Kith or seeming blessing.
I don't think it is. Let me check. I think it's just that I'm tough.
But if you want to see if you can hunt down another elemental who might have the ability to do what you're wanting, you could certainly try that if you'd like.
I need to find metal flesh. Yeah, yeah. If I can't do that with my contracts as is, then I would like to see if there's somebody that can. So probably put in a call to. Yeah, if I know somebody off the top of my head, or put in a call to either Phage or someone in Summer Court and see if they know.
Yeah, Contracts of Communion is Winter Masks, page 32. It is the other elemental contract.
Thank you.
Yep. But yeah, no, you know that you know a couple elementals in Summer. You also know that Leaf Finger is one from Spring. So yeah, the first three elementals that come to mind to you are Leaf Finger. Go ahead.
I'm thinking particularly elementals that would have contracts with metal or electricity.
Gotcha.
Flesh Flash.
I was gonna say Flesh Flash. Tony Loner isn't. You guys used to have an elemental metal flesh in Summer, but he died in the Winter War, unfortunately. Yeah. Tony Loner, who's an Earthbones, which is kind of close, elemental for Summer, or Leaf Finger proper.
Do I have Flesh Flash's number?
You don't, but you know that Phage would.
Yeah, so I'll call Phage. Phage.
Hey there.
You have Flesh Flash's number?
I do. Why?
Well, I'm sitting right across from the location of the last murder, or at least where the body was found. They're being dumped. I'm trying to see if I can find someone that can talk to the elements. I don't have that particular bit, but electricity or metal might be able to help guide us back to where it actually went down.
Yeah, I'll text you Flash's number.
Thanks.
Meanwhile, Megan, what are you up to during all of this crazy?
Apparently standing next to Phage. I
I mean,
I don't know what's changed in that situation. Like,
So you've gotten information on you are up to date
Right.
on all the information.
yes.
If you're still just waiting for Phage to do court business, you can absolutely hang out there. Or if you think Megan would head off to do some of her own stuff before tonight kicks off, also viable.
Um, I think that, I mean, the main reason that she went there was to kind of keep an eye on, because she's got a lot of suspicions about a certain person who's part of the security there.
Right.
So that's the main reason that she went
Okay.
there. If he's shown up or if he hasn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
No, you've seen Mbeko. She's been around a bit, in
okay,
and out, doing setup and things like that.
okay.
Go ahead and give me a wits and empathy.
Goddamn fucking sheet. There we go. Nope, not a chance. There. 2.
Mbeko seems a little on edge.
Okay.
More not angry or upset. You'd say more uncomfortable, bordering on concerned.
Okay. I will pop up behind her if possible. Or just walk up, that
I was
way.
gonna say you can give me a dexterity and stealth if you want.
Oh no, if possible, yes.
Okay, go for it. I'll roll for her.
Like, he's not gonna try to be super obvious about it, but
Sure.
Gets the chance.
Also 2.
Okay. Wits and composure for her.
So 2.
Also 2.
Yep.
So you're just on the
That's
edge
fine.
of approaching without notice, but you definitely get pretty darn close before she sees you coming from out the corner of her eye.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
So, yes. Why?
Just wondering. This night was a little intense.
Sometimes I forget what city manners mean.
I mean, it's fair. Words.
Take your time.
It was a spring ceremony, so I understand. But I wasn't even necessarily talking about that so much. You just seem a little jumpy.
You're comfortable with change.
It depends on the Actually, no, it doesn't depend on the context. Yes.
Interesting.
Why?
It's a good fact to know about someone.
It's a weird response to my question.
You didn't have to respond to mine.
No.
Go ahead and give me another wits and empathy.
Boink. Boink. Yeah.
There you go.
With an exceptional success, Mbeku still sees herself and likely her motley as outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
Newcomers that honestly might not actually belong, might have to pick up and move on if things don't work out.
Okay.
She doesn't trust you. She likely doesn't trust hardly anybody who comes through these doors.
Mm-hmm.
And what she's learned from Megan in this conversation is I've been letting my emotions be read. I'm certainly not going to offer any more information on that topic then, because that was a moment of weakness for me.
Okay.
But that doesn't stop me from countering a line of inquiry with my own. And if somebody gives me information, hey, that's information that I have and can use.
Fair enough. Listen. I just saw someone who looked a little. I don't know you that well. You don't know me that well. But I saw someone who looked a little ill at ease, and I wanted to check and make sure you're fine. Nothing more, nothing less.
Go ahead and give a manipulation and socialize.
Okay.
Minus, I'll say her composure, -3.
-3.
Mm-hmm.
Could I make an argument for persuasion?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let me see, because I think.
And if you got any specialties, feel free to throw those in there.
Right. I'm looking at my seeming stuff because I feel like that's
yeah.
just I can spend glamour.
Fairest.
You know what? Sure, I'll spend a couple glamour for a couple extra dice.
Excellent.
So manipulation, persuasion, +2, -3 is -1.
3 successes. All right. Nothing more and nothing less does not tell me a why.
I mean, first of all, legitimately because I see somebody that's not comfortable and I want to make them more so. That might be weird to you. It's the way it is for me. Second, you have a role. If you're ill at ease, I'm very curious as to why. Not in some suspicion way. What happened last night is what happened last night, and whatever. But Because if you're at ill ease, you're not necessarily doing your best at what you're supposed to be doing. I legitimately just want to know, you weirdo.
Weirdo is a
Rest
term that has a whole lot,
assured.
doesn't have a whole lot of weight among changelings.
Weirdo for a change. Anyway.
You need not concern yourself with that. If the state of my mind or my soul weighs upon your mind or your soul, consider yourself absolved of responsibility there.
Oh, that's the fun part about it. You don't get to just say that and all of a sudden I don't worry about it anymore. That's not how feeling about things works. And you're gonna probably take this as some kind of shade or the like. It's not meant to be. You're not good at being reassuring by just saying I'm fine, because that's the international sign of I'm not fine.
I'm not good at being reassuring.
I just said that, yes.
Well, we do all have roles to play.
Absolutely.
And she leans in close, and you can smell that weird, sharp, but somehow syrupy odor that snake venom has.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my job here.
I didn't say it was your job to be reassuring.
You see a
I'm
look, a
trying to be-
narrowed gaze. And there's
I'm-
that disconnect you can tell.
Right.
Why would you care whether or not I was good at something if you didn't think I was supposed to be competent to a certain level at
Oh
it?
my God.
Right now, she feels that
Right.
you are picking
Right.
up that this woman operates in a
She does
very
not understand.
specific social context,
Right.
that is pretty far divorced from what you would consider
Normal.
normal sapient interaction.
Yeah.
Which, you know, for changelings,
Go
frequently
figure.
comes with the territory, but also helps you to know where you stand.
I'm simply trying to you know what? I don't even know at this point. Just trying to check and make sure you're okay. You said you are. Everything about you says otherwise. So I'll just check later and see if your response is the same.
If you must.
Give her the just like the light, like not hit, but the light pump on the shoulder. Turn around and walk away.
And you can hear her just pause for a moment before her footsteps take her in the other direction as
right.
well.
Freak. So yeah.
And as you come back, you can see coming in to the main area, Megan, is Mary Fleet. She is a summer court member, which you have some goodwill with, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Runner Swift Beast. You know her as part of the Druids Run motley.
Okay.
And kind of glancing around, and then sees you and kind of dashes over to you. She's got very sort of like a mashup kind of rabbit gazelle kind of features a little bit. Very, very prey mentality and deportment most of the
Right.
time. But fast as all fuck.
Hey.
Is the queen she I was gonna talk if she's
Let me. Where is the background resplendentness?
God.
I'm looking around.
Where's Phage right now?
After finishing up with the news thing from the phone call, would probably have gone back out to the main lobby. And
All right, so probably sitting at the
See.
bar or somewhere.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
main
Yeah.
end.
Come on over this way.
Okay. She sort of just follows slightly closer than quite necessary, right behind you, and is constantly kind of peeking up over your shoulders with those big ears swiveling
As we're
one
walking,
side.
is everything all right?
Yeah.
All right.
No, pretty calm day. Just an issue that needs addressing. So.
All right. Cool. Head over. Your ritzy superbness.
fuck. She says, she sort of turns around.
Is that what we're calling her?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
No.
Is that a test?
No.
No.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Okay.
She likes to give me nicknames to keep me humble.
Yep.
Right.
Keep in mind, I'm only in the mild ones so far.
Oh fuck. All right. Hey there.
She gives you like a little cross-legged curtsy a little bit.
You the third one that texted me this morning.
Yes. I found I got your number from Joey. But there's you have the doctor, and people need help medically. And some people that are us and some people that are normal. And when you have a contract or an agreement or a pledge, those people sometimes too. But then the doctor doesn't. And sometimes it's kind of so if we could get like a judgment or a ombudsman, or yes, that.
All right. I'm gonna need the details on this. Can you start from the beginning slowly?
So there was an argument probably a couple months ago, and Stitches said no, because they weren't one of us, and we
So
have
Stitches refused to treat a mundane.
yes, and we come out, and usually they send us to him, and that's very good and helpful. But then afterwards, there's problems and costs and obstacles. And would Her Majestiness set up a system or a rule where people can get what they need without bullshit.
This court doesn't. Oh, I need to set up fucking universal health care for this goddamn court. All right. Honestly, that's a thing that this court should definitely have. I'm gonna have to talk with Stitches and see if there's any other doctors that we can start arranging things with.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for bringing
yes.
that to my attention.
Yes. So we can.
I'm at least going to give it my best shot. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna have to talk with Stitches and see what we can figure out. You specifically, your mundane needs help.
Yes. Did. Now it's just money.
How much are we talking?
Oh, I don't know. But since that one was money and regular doctors, I think that, I mean, we might be able to stop regular doctors if ours can do something, but I will, if you need numbers, I can ask.
Yeah, get me numbers, get me ideas, and I'll see how to handle this particular situation while I'm talking with Stitches.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Favors if you need them.
Always appreciated. I may need to call in on those depending on the future.
Yes, of course. And you see a flash of pale fur, and it's just you and Megan in a room now.
Oh, you didn't even have to cut a baby in half.
Well, I have got things to do going forward now. Setting up universal healthcare, public goblin fruit, and figuring out harvesting rights. This is going to be
honestly, the community
fucking
garden will
freehold
help
doesn't
with
have
the
anything
universal
set up.
health care.
Thought on, by the way, all good ideas. Had a thought.
Go ahead.
Not criticism. Your rule. Run how you want. We might want to before you start jumping into do this, do that changes things in a major way. We might want to start asking why these things weren't there before. There might be good reasons.
That's a fair point, but we've also been here less than a year. It might just be that it's been less than a year.
Very much so. But like,
you are correct. We should probably be looking into the status of these things and what the situation was prior.
Yeah.
Because these all seem like valid ideas that should be worked out, and I'm wondering whether or not it's because now it's spring and it's time to fix things, or if there were other reasons.
Absolutely.
You can give me an intelligence and politics if either of you want to sort of base some things off of what you know.
Some of that. Yep.
Would this apply any of my social merits?
Because
this is the workings of the court.
Do you have any politics specialties?
I don't have any specialties in politics, but I do have, again, status, court goodwill, and mantle.
What's your lowest court goodwill?
1 for summer.
That you actually have. Okay, you can add that 1 there.
4 successes.
Okay. Megan, you're thinking about it, and yeah, no, I mean, it's very possible that some of these are just coming up because this is a fresh ass new keyhold.
Right.
You know, and
absolutely.
You all effectively invented government in the fall, you know, to an extent. Phage, the other thing you're thinking of is you are the 3rd official seasonal sovereign. Only one of them has really been reachable or even identifiable before.
Yeah, no one could really talk to Winter, and everything was fresh as hell when it was fall.
Right. And so, yeah, everything was super fresh in fall. Winter was being super fucking winter about it. And also there was a war on. So probably not the best time to bring up, matters of social policy necessarily. And you also have put yourself forward as somebody who is here to help people and fix things. You are
so
the
people
first
want to come to me. I'm the first one who said I'm here to help. Yeah.
You're the first one who has had anything remotely resembling an open door policy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you open a door, people
wanna use it.
will stampede through that shit sometimes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think a favorite phrase of yours couldn't end up being "we'll look into it."
Oh, almost certainly. And I think a
Instead
lot of this
of
is because
let's-
I'm the only sovereign thus far who has made it their policy to try and help people.
Absolutely, and absolutely fair.
I think I will still be looking into it, but I'm fairly certain that we're going to find out that most of this is coming from the fact that everything was fresh with autumn and there was a war going on and no one could find the Sovereign of Winter. I don't know if anyone even knows who the Sovereign of Winter was other than Winter.
Sorry, 1 second.
Like, do I know who the Winter Sovereign was at any point?
Fuck no.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
God damn it, Twitter.
Meanwhile, though, anybody who's not here at the Commons, what needs to get cleared up aside from Akujin's meeting with Flesh?
I will after that third meeting, I will tell someone I will be back in a bit because I need to go and get Alana.
Okay. All right. Liz?
Liz, while I'm in the library here, I want to take a look around for any information about fetch ghosts. Anything about the thing that
Oh, okay. Give
yeah.
me an intelligence and occult +3. This is
Okay.
exactly the place you would look for that sort of information.
Yeah.
We have all sorts of information on fetch ghosts.
Uh-huh.
Would Alana have been told that there was an event going on tonight?
Not it would Alana be the sort of individual who would keep herself apprised of the social calendar, particularly as like the common nightclub that everybody's allowed entrance to would be concerned.
Not really. No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Potentially not. Then. With one success list, fetches can't have ghosts. You have to have a soul
Okay.
in order to have a ghost.
Yep.
Fetches don't have souls.
Okay. Well, that answers that question.
Yep. At
Could a
least as
fetch-
far as all the books are concerned.
Could a fetch be formed into a ghost?
I think the better question is, could a ghost be formed into a fetch?
Ooh, that is a good question, actually.
You trapped a ghost inside.
A
Probably.
ghost in the shell, as it were.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Anything more for Lark having
One-
found
One
that
keeper
one
that's
resource?
really, really into anime.
Not at the moment on that. What did the text exactly say from Phage that she got?
It is probably a rundown of the situation with the serial killers, about the significantly increased importance of it because Adele's ghost pointed it out to Alana.
Yeah, that's gonna get a reaction. Okay, yeah.
There would have also been a response at some point from Akushin just saying looking into it.
Okay. She will show that text to Barnaby.
Interesting.
I need to go back. I may need to go get Alana.
Oh, okay.
She's alone and experienced meeting Adele's ghost.
No, that's yeah. I can give you a ride over there for sure.
When Phage does leave, and this would probably obviously be later than that text because a lot of stuff happened. She would text Lark saying, Alana wanted a conversation, and also probably wants to be at the event tonight, so I'm heading that way.
Oh, she will. Lark will text you and say, I was heading to go get her.
As everybody converges.
It's on Alana.
Protect the newbie.
Pretty much.
She'll send another one saying, do you want me to get her or do you want to?
She had a conversation she wanted, so I'm heading there anyway.
Okay.
This would all happen after you exited the archive, because remember, the archive's in a hollow and it does not get cell phone transmission. But yeah, no, you guys can exit, and yeah, Barnaby will run you over in the pickup.
Well, she'll say to Barnaby that we don't need to get Lana. Fidge is getting her.
Okay. All right. You know we don't leave ghosts, right?
I didn't think we did, but this is the second time her ghost has been seen.
I would be willing to wager that whatever that is, it's not a ghost in the proper definition thereof.
Okay.
I've done some stuff. Baltimore is a ghost city, so I felt like it was prudent to have a working knowledge. Ghosts have anchors. Ghosts are formed from souls that still have either unfinished business or trauma or something tying them to this world rather than passing on to an eternity or a shadowland or whatever. We don't have whole souls, so we can't, because most of it is still smeared across the thorns out there somewhere. If a changeling could somehow put themselves entirely back together and then died dramatically, maybe ghost then. I feel like, I mean, she was your motley mate. Was she like some wild level of weird enlightened and just didn't tell anybody else in the keyhole about it?
I don't think so.
We don't have whole souls. We're full of soul holes. This had to come out of my brain, sorry.
It's all right.
I mean, I'm not like you saw Adele in her house as a okay, go ahead.
She's been seen twice. Like, what are we seeing if it's not her ghost?
Because an echo, an imprint.
Okay.
Trauma.
The fucking Phoenix Force wearing Adele's shell.
This is all part of Jack and my plan to bring Adele back. No.
Hey, get in line. Nero was first.
You've never even asked.
Yes, I have, and you know I have. We had a conversation about it.
Nero didn't fuck with ghosts on a regular basis.
I mean, I would be careful. I'm not saying, we need to burn down the house and salt the ashes or anything, but that's odd, is all I'm saying.
I mean, so was Adele.
Yes, very much so. In the best way, but also yes. Yeah.
And the worst ways.
Hearing this information, how does that impact Lark, given her emotional state?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Lark just drives back to the house, goes into the garage, gets a gasoline can, and just starts spraying everywhere.
We see Adele's
it's what
ghost.
She would have wanted.
We see Adele's ghost, and then the camera turns, and it's just an archfey with a flashlight doing shadow puppets.
Amazing.
Can I make a roll to figure out how she's
Yeah,
taking
sure.
this
Go
right
ahead.
now?
Resolve and composure is usually your
Uh-huh.
best like emotional equilibrium roll most of the time.
Also, isn't a loved one telling you that your experiences are unreal like a literal like changeling breaking point?
Oh, we're getting to that.
Okay,
Slow down. We'll get
success.
there.
Okay. You're managing to keep it together, but I will need you to roll 4 dice for a clarity break.
Okay.
Barnaby gaslighting Lark.
Haven't done one of these in a
The-
while.
It's been 2 sessions.
So
A
I'm not
while.
rolling. Hold on. I'm just rolling 4 dice.
You're just rolling 4 dice. Yes.
Okay.
If you've got a pool that's just 4 dice, you can feel free to just tag that, or you can just do 4d10.
Just 4 dice. I'm rolling 4 d20s.
That was 410.
Oh,
that was not
shoot,
4d10.
sorry,
You
I'm
missed the D.
sorry.
You also missed the 2 because those should have been 420 there.
Also, I was gonna say you were 10 off.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you've got a
Fun.
success in there. So yeah, you managed to hang on to your sense of reality and, remind yourself nobody's trying to convince you that you didn't see what you saw. They're just saying what you saw was not exactly by definition what you thought it probably was most likely to be.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that what I thought was a rainstorm in the distance was actually hail. Okay, it's still there and weather, kind of thing.
I don't know if I want to go to this thing tonight.
If you'd rather not, I mean, I can take you home. We can just go do something else somewhere else. Do you want company? Do you want to be alone?
I think I'd like company.
Okay. You want one company or more than one company?
I think just you is fine.
Okay. Night in at your place or night in at my place?
How about your place?
Okay. Sounds good. And he pulls off to the side, he, pulls into a parallel parking spot, pulls out his phone, sends a couple texts because Barnaby is a responsible person and does not try and text and drive, puts his phone back in his pocket and heads back to the godforsaken headquarters.
Also, the phone is so small that it would be impossible for him to text and drive anyways.
Right.
She's
No, go for it.
She's gonna send a text to Lana
Okay.
and let her know that she's staying with Barnaby tonight. And she promises that she will talk to her about everything going on in the house tomorrow. She's
So
gonna text Megan and let her know this and be like, hey, Alana maybe shouldn't be alone.
I feel so funny enough because I assume that when Paige is leaving, I'm probably going with because I've got no other reason to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the car, I was going to be texting a lot like, "Hey, you okay?"
So the two text messages that go out are horrifically spelled.
Oh, good.
How much did Alana drink?
Well,
all of it.
I mean, she stopped after she drank the second vodka cranberry and then slowed down. But she's probably at 4, which is heavy since she's only had one a night.
Yeah,
I was going to say, and are they vodka cranberries where it's that much cranberry, that much vodka?
Yeah, a little bit. But
it's just slightly pink.
After deciphering Lark, you'll get, okay, I wasn't expecting a ghost, but among other things that I could have found, that was probably better.
You're only able to decipher half of it, though.
Right.
Because the rest is just a blur of text.
Well, no, that's going to be the worst part of it. Your phone probably has autocorrect. So that's just fucking gibberish.
In response to what she can make out, Lark will text back, "The good alcohol's under my bed."
Perfectly spelled. Noted.
Amazing.
But it comes 10 minutes later because that's how long it took to properly type the words.
Yeah, the like right
Yep.
in front of the face typing with one finger. But she will text Megan, "I'm great right now."
Spelled how it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spelled Grate.
Right. It probably comes across great. But kidding. Where are you?
At home.
Which?
Mansion.
Man, shun.
See you in a few. Sage
So
coming too.
thumbs up emoji. And then she's just gonna like plop down onto a couch and Google her sister.
Oh no.
Okay. Intelligence and computer +1.
The power of
I
drunk
just
compels
look
you.
over at Phage and say, I don't know how much of a conversation you're going to be having.
0 successes.
Interesting look over because Phage rides a motorcycle.
Oh, that's right. We both do.
Leah Spencer turns up a lot of results, and none of them have enough photos attached that you can differentiate which one of these might be your sister.
That's what she gets for having a basic name. She'll just throw her phone onto the coffee table.
Bitch.
So Akajin, you get a call
Do I get a call or
from an unknown local number.
I thought I was calling. Hello?
Yeah, no, you called and it went to voicemail.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hello?
And this is a different phone number than the one that you called.
Yeah.
The Queen says you need a favor.
Do I recognize his voice as Flash Flash?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You able to talk to the wiring?
I can talk to the air, which is usually better.
That's good enough. Give the address that I'm at. I need to talk to some elements.
All right. We can do some basics then. What type of information are we looking for?
We're hunting down a serial killer, a not natural serial killer. This is where they dumped their victim, but not where they killed them. Trying to trace it back.
Tess is going to be jealous. All right. We'll do what we can. Air is best at sounds. So light would be better, but we'll make do with what we can.
I can't talk to any of them, so.
Better than that, then, I guess. Okay. Let's see what we can manage.
See when you're ready.
And yeah, she'll find the address where she's gonna meet you, and then eventually, she pulls up, and she's kind of got a shortish bob, wavy blondish hair, and she's her mask and her mien are very similar, almost to the same extent that Megan's is. But she has Lichtenberg figures rising up the cheek, both sides of her cheeks, and there's just constant ripples and crackles of exposed electrical energy all up and down her arms, her legs. Any of her hair tends to flare outward with static and then recede periodically. She is classically Leavenquick, almost to an extent. Her movements are jerky, and it's almost like there's no intervening motion. Like you're seeing various frames just work their way towards you without it being a smooth flow of movement.
And just in the time since anyone else has seen Akujin and now, just as he's been entering into sort of hunting mode, his mask, his mane has changed slightly. That metal, his normally metal like skull like face has become much more reinforced, almost like it's gotten a bit thicker and with a little bit more pointed spikes on the helmet and on the top of it, and his summer mantle is emanating like much more visibly than it normally does, as he's been sort of standing here entering. He's been basically mentally preparing himself for a fight, because following this back to its source could end them up with a fight. And so he's definitely looking much more like warrior mode than he normally does.
Excellent. So, how close can we get?
I'll indicate to I'll indicate to where the police tape is. I've been sitting across the road because they're active. If we wait until later, we could probably get closer, but I don't want to. I know the memory of elements can be tricky at best.
Well, we'll have to see.
This is the most recent
I can
one.
probably push it a little bit.
This is the most recent one. There have been 7 others.
That's definitely plenty for serial classification.
Yep.
Oh, right.
And I'll extrapolate all the information that I've got, basically, that might help as far as questioning the elements. Like, this is what we know as far as how it got here. Don't know where it came from, but it definitely came here from somewhere else, etc.
I'm probably only going to be able to ask what's here in the area, so most of our questions unlikely to give us much detail on where it originated, but if there's any specific inquiries you have about what happened here, I can probably get you some things that way.
What I'm looking for mostly is just a direction to start. The drop points have all been random, but if we can get an idea from what direction someone...
So you're more interested in where than what?
Yeah. If there's anything, someone like us or similar to us in some demonstrable way.
Characteristics, what sort of... Okay.
Yeah.
If
came through
if the air senses something of a different flavor than...
Right.
Shitty guy with a nasty tool of murder.
Right. And as far as we know, they're using wood, some sort of implement made of wood.
Wood. All right. Let's see what we can do. And she's going to try and find an area. Being across the street is too far distant to really get an idea of anything specific. So she tries to work your guys' way in. Go ahead and give me a dexterity and stealth for Akujin. See how close you guys can get.
Let me tell you how good I am at stealth. Can I spend a willpower on this?
Yeah, you can. Don't know why I rolled initiative. That's silly.
I thought that was the number of successes they got, and I was just like, Jesus.
Jesus Christ, this person's sneaky.
2 successes.
2 successes. That's pretty good. Alrighty. And stealth for her. There we go. 2 successes for Flesh Flash, too. So the pair of you sidle up and manage to find an area that's slightly outside the line of observation. This is basically a construction site previously. And the body had been stashed inside one of the uncompleted parts of a structure that was being built. But Flish Flash manages to get things positioned to where she is sort of in touch with the air. She's going to spend a willpower because she wants this to go well.
Mentally, Akujin is going, learn how to talk to elements.
And she's going to roll socialize and weird +3. Come on, girl. What do you got? 1 success. Oh, that's right. I forgot. She gets to roll 1 extra die. We'll just do a single D10. Nothing any better. Okay. But she spends some time greeting the air, establishing a little bit of a dialogue, kind of asking it how it's doing, what its temperature's been like recently. Are the wind currents here strong, pleasant? Do we stagnate? Do we need assistance, ventilation? Should there be more storms here than we got? Very shop talk with the air. And then you see her twist her fingers and you can feel the glamour go out as she burns a little bit of magical energy, and you can see the crackle of electricity over her fingers. Someone came and left something. Did you hear them? She cocks her ear a little bit, and you can feel the breeze kick up out of nowhere for a bit and kind of toss her hair around her face a bit.
I'm gonna do my best to listen. I know I'm not gonna get what she's getting, but I am gonna try to. He is gonna try
Wits
to see
and
if he can
composure
hear
and
the
weird.
wind. Yeah. Four successes.
4 successes. You can hear the noise. Like there's the regular sound of the breeze, but there's something else underneath it that you are entirely unable to parse. But what you do notice, the smell of blood suddenly accentuates. Older, but still fresh. As whatever this atmosphere is begins to recount some information to her. Could you tell man, woman, child, old, young? What could you know of it? How did they taste? The wind shifts direction again, and this time that smell of blood turns to a more earthy, almost greenhousey sort of verdant growing wet earth kind of aroma. Go ahead and give me a wits and survival roll for Akujin. You can add your weird to this one as well.
Okay. 0 successes.
Yep. There's something vaguely familiar about the smell that you're picking up now, but you can't quite place it. Exactly. Like or similar to, she says. And there's another faint uptossing of air. You see her look around. Well, there's nothing growing here. Where did it come from? There's a pause. Thank you. I'm sure that will be very helpful. She turns to you, Akajim. The air says that whoever carried the body carries the thorns with them. And that's where we're going to close for the evening.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.